Hey, the date is January 8th, 2023, and it's 6:57 p.m. This thing keeps going. Okay. I was asking what this is going to be about, and all I was told is trust. So let's see what everybody watching needs to know. Things I'm supposed to tell you about this is that it's not for any specific sign, it's for you watching this. So it might resonate, it might not, for certain things you're going through or not going through. Okay? It might be for someone around you too. If it's really not for you, it might be for someone around you. So, you guys watching this, you're learning how to turn negative expressions of your energy centers the other way. Hey, Mama Lit, how are you? This thing with the Ten of Wands and the healing card, it's kind of like learning to use spirit into matter. It's a manifestation intention thing that you guys are learning to use through each chakra system, each chakra point, not just one or the other. So, for example, there's teachings that the root chakra holds all the money and finances and stability and all that. But you have to use the throat chakra too. So you kind of have to weave it all together and bring it out. And if you're not doing it with love or the higher heart or, pure intent, it kind of creates a burden energetically that you then have to balance out physically because of that expression in the throat chakra area of whatever the polarity is that you've been spinning or someone around you spinning. So maybe someone's going through a detox or someone's going through addiction withdrawals or something and they're healing from it. And the best remedy for them is to utilize the opposite force of whatever it is that's bringing them discomfort. There you go, Mama Lit. That's kind of how this is. It's like we want something, but the way it's expressing in the physical isn't how we like it was thought to be, kind of. And it's due to those energy centers emitting a distorted frequency. So once those are adjusted, the matter that's becoming, the ether that's becoming matter, tangible in the physical world, gets a sense of cleaner energy output throughout time space. So if you're trying to manifest love out of lack, you might not get something really that you want. If you're manifesting money out of a need for money, you might get some kind of time constraint where you learn something regarding the value of it. But if you're doing it all from a heart space, if you're bringing all of those energies together and transmuting them before putting them out, you're giving them a healing energy, knowing your real intention, whether good or bad. and kind of analyzing it second by second and through a higher mind and through a higher emotional frequency of energy. You can keep leveling it up because it keeps going deeper and deeper like the wheel itself. So you might think, oh, I'm emotionally intelligent, or someone around you thinks, oh, they're healed already, they don't have that problem. But if a trigger occurs, that area where the problem was hiding becomes distorted. You see how this one's brighter than the other ones? But and even though it is brighter than the other ones, it's like balancing out with the other ones because it's not all condensed there. There's some red in the heart chakra, there's some red in the solar plexus, there's some red around the throat chakra because it's being woven up through the system and out. But if it's bringing out needy, sad, uncreative, lonely, not expressing the self, not having a source connection, then that manifestation of spirit to matter becomes something that's confining, that you're constantly trying to, Rubik's Cube out of because it's kind of confusing. But that confusion energy, that poverty energy, the lack of self control or self love or whatever to a deeper extent, it's fixable. It's not something that's wrong. It's just another layer of the wheel turning. So it's kind of like bringing fire and water together without burning each other. So that confusion, if you kind of look at it, or if you have like, if you're isolated a lot, or you're limited in anything, internally or externally, kind of look at why, in a way where that effect, that frequency of negative energy, of negative output, what is it actually helping you grow? All that time spent in isolation, all that time spent sad and confused or poor or whatever people are dealing with, all of those emotions, those different colors, those different experiences, what are they actually helping you build inside yourself as a soul, as a person that isn't bound to just this lifetime? Because there's a thing, it's reincarnation, different realities and expressions of self. There's living proof of reincarnation. So, what is it teaching you in this life that you can use the next time around or even the next day? The key is something in you that unlocks that, and it has to do with the way you view your heart chakra. It has to do simply with that. That's what's causing the energetic distortion through the human body. It's not all the other chakras. It's not people being stuck in those lower chakras and not having a heart. They have a heart. It's not people being too high up and altruistic and all that stuff. No, because they're still physical. They eat, sleep, poop, and pee. So they're still functional, but it's distorted. Why do these things get distorted? It's usually because of something we think, due to something we're experiencing, that causes something to become ingrained in us. Like little experiences, little memories that become little tiny scars on the soul. But maybe that's exactly what you're supposed to become. Someone who went through all that bad stuff. And I don't want to put words on it, but you know what I mean. All those traumatic experiences, whatever they may be for you or someone near you, maybe they're designed to create something that goes beyond right now. It it it, it readjusts the construct. Because if there's been a lifetime, for example, of negative experiences and complex post-traumatic stress disorder and all of that stuff, And there's it's impossible to find peace or comfort or even a sense of safety. Even that, what is that growing? It's growing something. The universe is intelligent. God and the monad and all of those beings, they're intelligent. They're compassionate. They're working on frequencies we aren't aware of. I think the whole world needs a big heart hug, Mama Lit. I know I do. Everything's just been really hectic and emotional and heavy, and it all has to do with how each person's processing it. Because we're most of us are kind of stuck in, oh, it sucks right now. But if you detach from the physical and look at it spiritually and energetically as a scientific process, kind of, what exactly is it helping you create? Remember, the snake is also about science, genetics, reproduction, um, alchemy, poison to medicine, rebirth, and regeneration. It's a thing of wisdom and cunning, and it doesn't strike unless provoked. Even the venom or poison, it's in there and it can be curable within itself, even. So it's something that needs to be looked at differently. Whatever that heaviness is there, whatever it is, there's the key and the lock. And the same tools in this hand. This time, it's just the harvest and the prize. It's not the tools to build it. You've already built it. You're already becoming that person that God wants you to be. You're already helping people that God wants you to help, right? You're part of that universe no matter what you do. I mean, even if people pass on and come back, they're still there. Even my cat, like Lily, isn't in this house, but she's constantly in this house. They're always there. So, what is all this stuff teaching you? Because the key is right there by the heart, but it has to do with the solar plexus. How is it that these two areas, like this, look at those colors, blue and purple, red and orange. It's kind of like a police car. It's like self policing through the mind and the emotions to keep self confidence and receiving out of the picture. Because in these two chakras, it's all about taking and creating and destroying and passion and love and all that stuff. In these two, it's all about without any of these, that's narcissism. That's pure and utter narcissism. Complete and utter intelligence, complete and utter connection to the self and source and the higher realms, but no physical anything. And when you have this is a whole different kind of person. When you have that, that's basically what people call NPCs. But everybody has this. They're just not really using it. Because every time something happens where they're weighed down by a distortion of these energy centers, they immediately go to woe is me. But it's not woe is me. What exactly is it? That symbol means all of those elements are working together without any form of destruction. Originally, that used to be the Christos symbol. So look at how distorted people are every single day. Each and everything they do is because of something that's distorted in the energy field. Each and everything they don't do to help others, for example, or to help themselves in a more compassionate way has to do with not that, not missing the heart chakra. It's these two. Because they still feel bad about it. They still have remorse. They express it, they cry, they think about it, they go to work, they come back, but they don't do anything to be a sun in other people's lives or in their own. And then they block out love. And what happens when people do that? They become promiscuous. The root chakra working with the heart chakra and expression, that's complete bliss because of a distortion of these two. How do those get distorted? Abandonment. The heart stays active, those get distorted, sense of fear and survival kicks in. Constant fight or flight with the awareness of knowing, which equals to hypervigilance. So every time people are going through this planet-wide, and the answer is always the blue shining on the green. Yes, you're sad, you're this, you're that, you're whatever, but you're also the flip side of it. Wash it clean. What else is there in your expressions? Okay, so you're depressed. That means your heart chakra is open. You're depressed, right? It just means it's creating energy in the opposite flow. Why? Because you think you're depressed. So you're commanding your chakra system to keep attracting that energy. You want to change it, you're going to have to grow past that demiurgic boundary that says, no, feeling sad. What is that distortion? In these two. Not having the willpower to think and force the emotions into a positive spin. So these spin sideways, and it's kind of like being caught in a storm and someone saying, oh, save me, the storm is carrying me away. But the storm is caused because the system is out of balance. It's the auric field. Your emotions and your thoughts are your responsibility. If other beings or people or foods or things you eat that are going on inside your body and you're unaware of are distorting all of that, no amount of anything is going to fix it. That's why people run to, pills or addictions to try to balance those chakra systems out, which is why, THC is so important because it's at a certain frequency. So when you consume that, it immediately yoinks those into a positive spin up to that frequency. If you're above that frequency and you smoke it, you get down to that frequency. And then you go back up from there. For people who are drinking alcohol, for example, it's smashed, rotted, fermented fruit. That frequency distorts those centers, bringing them into a negative spin. And then when it's constantly done and ingrained, the body becomes used to that. But it's changeable instantly. The minute you shift that cube to that area, the pattern changes. But you have to use these things. Sorry, my elbow's like going across that. You have to use these energy centers to force the spin the other way through your sheer compassion for yourself. Because it's your energy center first that's distorted and causing all the confusion up there. Once the heart center is working with the root, the red, the green, and the gold is these two. The blue can express in a higher light, like the purple. The purple goes up to a higher spectrum, a higher frequency, like going from 741 to 963 hertz. From there, it goes up to, quadruple digit frequencies then, instead of triple digits as 963 over there. And I'm fairly certain this is 369 and that's 963 or something like that. And then the lower ones are the 144 hertz and etc. I think this is in between there somewhere where it vibrates at 528 hertz. So if you can take that 528 and put it down there, what happens to the rest of these? They're perpetually forced to never vibrate at a lower vibration because the basis, the rock bottom of where you'd be, is perpetually what that would be down there. So it's kind of like rearranging your chakra system, which would internally rearrange entirely how you express yourself. If your heart chakra is in your root, then you show and receive love and intimacy and all of that things through the physical expression. Hey, Rebecca. I hope this makes sense. Okay, I feel like I've been explaining this for so long, but we've like broken down the entire chakra system and how to fix it. So maybe like definitely watch it again or just this first 20 minutes because I don't really want to keep going over that. I feel like it's explained already. Yep, there you go. Okay. Um, let's see what these guys have to say. Many paths. Okay. Stop trying to fix your system the way they fix theirs. My chakra system, me, is all sorts of bonkers. My system doesn't look like this. My system kind of looks more like this. Kind of. So if I try to take the same path someone else is doing, like healing their root chakra, for me, healing my root chakra doesn't heal my root chakra. It heals another one. My system is different. So whatever you are, human, reptile, whatever, don't do things the other ones do. Don't do it that way. Oh, mama lit, honey. Sweetheart, don't worry. Don't worry. What you're going through right now is totally normal. What this is, oh, thank you, Rebecca. It's still that indigo. Every day it's like getting darker and darker and more red and blue and green. I don't, all right, thank you. Mama Lit, that stuff you're going through, I think this reading is really relevant to you, like deeply too. I've been through this too recently. Um, I don't want to call you out on anything, but I'm fairly certain those things you were doing when you were younger too, because I did too. And I went through a stage where I was faced with all that stuff again, and I chose not to. But I did dip into wine, and I was like a little bit of wine here and there. So the thing I learned in that when those spirits come back, they have something to teach you. So don't punish yourself for what you're going through, but instead turn it around to something positive. Get rid of the thing, okay? Because it'll like I stopped that when I was 19 and I only tried it 3 times and I couldn't tolerate it whatsoever. And then someone I knew, like their nasal cavity broke because of that. So that's just I really don't recommend that at all. But wine, switch to deep, rich red wine. Get one bottle for a month, like one bottle a week, and have one glass every night whenever you feel like it, but one. And then just wait. So let that bottle last you for a week. There's a reason why it needs to be done this way, and it was explained to me in a really woo woo way. But it's due to like when you take those pills that are slow release capsules. So when you're communing at an energetic level with those spirits, when you're doing it in an addictive way or a way to run from something internally, to not feel it or to not think about it because it's too much, those lessons they're teaching you still go into your spirit, but consciously you won't acknowledge it. So it's kind of like until you realize what's happening is actually part of a healing process, it turns into something that weighs you down like an addiction. So recognize it's only temporary because everything changes. Everything changes every day. And just Enjoy it for what it is. You know that feeling you get afterwards when you do that stuff? Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Just experience it because it's what you might need to get through that pathway there. And then once you're down that pathway, you can discard that, whatever habit is, and then pick up something else instead. It's rising on the vibrational scale. So the reason you might be going through what you're going through is because maybe one of these centers is out of whack. And the lowest remedy, the lowest vibrational medicine for it is wine and that other thing. So don't hate yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't fight yourself. Don't think you're addicted. None of those things. It's just part of walking that path, and in a few days you won't even do it anymore. Like trust that. No matter what we do, no matter what we do, and I say this to you, all of you, so lovingly, and not with despair or any of that stuff. Nothing you do other than being good to yourself and other people and the world, like the earth itself, matters. Because every other fucking thing you're doing is autopilot scripted by God. Even the choices you make, they're presented to you, and each side is already decided. So people that hold on to regret, it's not your fault. God chose for you, through you. That's why it hurts. You didn't want to make that choice. But it's something that is part of the plan, part of the process. So have faith in whatever your creator is. Because no matter what you're doing, it's still God doing it. The only thing you can do is be good to yourself and others without hurting anybody or taking anything from anyone. When you cross swords, it's to grow something, not to fight something. When you share time with someone, it's to help them, not to hurt them. When you're taking medicine, whether it's wine or reaping what you've sown, it's still healing. I have to get my teeth removed. It's going to suck. But future me down the line is never going to have to deal with that shit again. But it's going to suck. So go with it. I picked up smoking cigarettes for like 2 years. And next week or a couple of weeks, no matter if I want to or not, it's done and over with anyway. Have I beat myself up over it all this time? Not one fucking bit. Because I, like everybody, has a gift of knowing inside. You just know. You know you're going to be okay, right? No matter what you're going through, you know at some level inside you, there's some bratty inner child sitting next to God saying, you're obsessed over what? You're upset over what? You can kick and scream and struggle all you want. You're still going to be healed and live a good life. So enjoy it or look at it as something you're going through that's making you torture yourself and suffer. Either way, just keep moving. Just keep going. Because if you're not going to do that, and you haven't died yet, and you're still alive after everything you've been through, and you can still move and talk and breathe and eat and sleep and poo and do all that stuff, who's the one wasting your time when you're being miserable and sad and you're being all those things? Right? So then when people pick on you or they misguide you down paths and they send you to different places and you listen to them, Kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because they don't know where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to be asking yourself and God, your creator, your inner being. So I cannot recommend enough sitting down and looking at a mirror and having a conversation with yourself. It's weird, but it works. If you want, you can play pretend with your male and female side, because that'll go even deeper into inner alchemy. If you want, you can look in the mirror and talk to your inner child. If you want, you can look in the mirror and cover half your face in any way you want. Speak to the left side or the right side, or the lower and the higher aspects of yourself. I still do it. Earlier today, I was feeling like shit, bro. I was like, fuck this. What's the point? How am I alive again? And every time I'm in these dreams, like in the dream world, I'm going through so much stuff. And then I wake up back here, and it's usually the same day of me just being by myself. And I'm like, what is the fucking point of this? Like, I can't even die. I'm, how many eons have I been alive? And every lifetime I get to remember everything. So it's like, okay, death is kind of pointless, whatever. And I'm just like, why am I even here? And today I sat there and I fucking cried so hard. And especially after these contacts came in the mail today, I put them on and I could see clearly and my body wasn't in pain. And my hair color is this color. And I looked in the mirror and I swear to God, I fucking saw Inanna looking back at me and I burst out crying so bad, like weeping. And I just sat there after a while because it was like 2 hours of me just being fucking miserable. And I'm like, this is absurd. This is fucking absurd. Why am I feeling fucking terrible for the path I'm walking that I didn't even pick? And then I'm gaslit by divinity itself telling me I did all this to myself, but I don't even get to remember the choices or the previous day. I just wake up in the same fucking day. So I sat there and I was like, yo, Nomad, yo, Mother Mary, Isis, all of you guys, we need to fucking talk. And I went off, man. I was like, how fucking dare you make me exist just to fucking suffer in this goddamn loop? And I don't even get to know why. And then everybody gets to say that I'm dealing with some karmic bullshit and blah blah, all this crap, right? And then it fucking dawned on me today earlier and before I was taking a shower, and I was looking in the mirror and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? What is this? Like, there's nobody even in my life that gives a shit if I'm alive or dead, right? Like, really, genuinely, there's nobody that even calls me once a month. So I'm kind of like, and everything I do does nothing. Like, I get no career, no money, no job, nothing, nothing. Just sit here. And I was like, why would that be? And it dawned on me when I put the contacts in and I looked in the mirror and I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen that echo of that face in over 2,600 years. And it dawned on me even more that I'm sitting here in this life and everything's just fucking tick tock, tick tock. And every day, all of the past bullshit from all the other lifetimes is like, hey, okay, you remember that trauma? Oh, you remember this? Oh, you remember that? Oh, remember all your children? Remember all these things? And I'm like, and when it dawned on me was what I was telling you earlier. I've been doing things ass backwards. And my entire system had basically been shutting itself down or was shut down and has to be readjusted. What it looks like in my life daily is me on my own every single fucking day. Why? Why is it driving me crazy? Because I just want to do that. And then do this and not exist. Because I've been existing forever. What does that mean physically to the human body? To the collective of people that are going through this, right? It's a collective sense of entropy. A soul that doesn't want to go through the same bullshit anymore. So what happens? Oh, Rebecca, darling. It's stuff like that that makes me turn this fucking camera on. This happens when we accept that what we're going through is exactly what we need to go through, and we're supposed to use a higher mind to see through it. Then we can heal. So if I sit here and I complain and I'm just miserable all fucking day because I'm in an etheric isolation chamber to reform my chakra system properly, then I'm not really helping the entire process, am I? But if I go with the flow of my own self, with my own connection to source, what happens? So go with your settings. Maybe your solar plexus, the thing that makes you feel confident is somewhere in your head space. You know, your orange is up there maybe. And your mind is bonkers for some reason, or you might have addictions because the things that make you happy are actually cerebral. And you're trying to find creative things to do with your life to make yourself happy, but you're supposed to be doing computer things or, you know, medicine, science, things that are more intricate, more mental. Maybe, you know, you're supposed to be some kind of a public speaker, but you feel like you can't. So your sacral, your solar plexus might be in your throat area. So you might have a yellow glow here under Acrylian photography or whatever it's called. But so far, you might only think that, oh, the throat is always blue. What if the way you create is through music and you're a singer? Then your sacral chakra is up here, not down there. Because when singers are really, really good and they're belting out those songs and they're crying on stage and all that, it's because that's there. All that passion. It's not that they're expressing themselves, they're passionate with what they're doing. Maybe your fucking, I don't know, your crown chakra is in your heart, you know, the sacred fiery heart. Maybe you have your root chakra and your crown chakra in your heart area. So what brings you a sense of thing of happiness to life is combinations of whatever the positive expressions of the root chakra and the heart chakra are. A happy family, your connection to God. Maybe you're supposed to be a priest or a priestess, so your crown chakra is in your heart chakra. You're you emit a connection from God to everybody. What would that make you look like? Probably like this, because your crown chakra would have like antennae growing out of it, which would look like horns. But they're antenna like unicorn horns, bringing that stuff to the heart because then you express it passionately with that fire heart. God makes everything unique. Everybody trying to heal the same way is silly. Yep. And what does the Capricorn and Virgo need to balance themselves? Not anyone else, not any habit, not any routine. Doesn't matter if the house is clean or cluttered. Those things are typical Virgo things. But the core thing of Virgo needs, the earth needs, companionship. It needs something and someone to share the harvest with. So most Capricorns and Virgos and Tauruses that I know or knew, my mom's a Capricorn. She's always by herself. She's surrounded by family and she's always by herself in her room doing her thing. But every time she's out of the room, like with family, she's like this, completely lit up. And then when she goes back into her she cave, she's like this and unhappy because she doesn't have anybody to serve. She doesn't have anybody to take care of. All the kids are grown. Everybody's dealing with their own stuff. And she's just like, "Hmm." So what does she do? Cleans, organizes, overthinks, analyzes, stares at the fucking computer all day long. You know, the Earth itself, without any life on it, what is it? It's just a planet with plants and water and elements. So here you go. Here, let's put one person on it. Here you go. A Capricorn on planet Earth. What do we get? We put a Capricorn on planet Earth with 2 other people. What do we get? Rules, regulations, order, structure, hierarchies, etc., etc. We put a Capricorn on planet Earth with everybody. And then you put that Capricorn in a place of service. What happens? Boom. Capricorns, earth signs, are designed by nature to be the foundation of unity. They think they're just earthbound and, earthly, and they have to be this or that. But no, because in a way, for a Capricorn, that structure, stability, and everything is their heart space. It brings them happiness to have a clean home, organized things, structure, clean surfaces, everything's scheduled. Why? Because they are unstable. Otherwise, then they get lost in their head. Which means if you're lost in your head and you're unstable energetically and stuff, maybe you're expressing yourself in a completely bonkers way internally to yourself, which brings something out that's distorted and feels incomplete. So when I get in my Virgo stage, I'm like washing walls with paper towels because it's like, oh, I don't like that thing there. Oh, I don't like this thing there. Oh, I don't like that there. Let me just shuffle this around. Let me shuffle that around. Wasting my fucking time. But after I'm done with it, I'm like, oh, there's a reason why I did this. Why? Because I had to see something. That energy that was making me feel uncomfortable. What was it? It had nothing to do with something being out of place. It had everything to do with, you ready? Where it was didn't have anyone else there to see it. So if it changes, maybe there'll be someone there. Think about it. When you guys are sitting at home and you're looking around, what is the real problem? You're by yourself, right? Those little moments where somebody would take a picture of you. Those little moments where you want somebody to say, oh, that looks really nice in that corner. That's how the earth feels. Oh, weird. Look at whoa. Did you see that? The wheel is always turning, right? Everything. What does she need? It's not just all these life forms, it's someone with her. When you're in those stages where you are drinking or you're doing other less savory things, what is it you're actually getting from it? a companion to your pain, right? Smoking cigarettes is like taking a time out with your best friend that knows your thoughts, right? Drinking a glass of wine is like washing away the day and just spending some time internally feeling better than you think you feel. It causes something like that internally. I'm adding up the numbers and it's just, it feels like there's so many people where, you know, when a car is stuck in the mud, and it's like if you just stop hitting the accelerator, get out of the car and push up and forward, you could do it. But in order to do that, you need someone to care. You need someone with you. Can you even imagine what Gaia must feel like? The consciousness of a planet, perpetually unable to touch anything else because it's a fucking planet. And its nearest closest thing is a reminder of something that died. Look at her face. Pachamama is the consciousness of Gaia. What would you say to your friend that looked like that? We're not designed to be alone. And if we can't handle being alone, then we're not energetically stable. I hear a lot of things. What is it you hear? I heard a cougar outside, like a lion cat, but I think that was a motorcycle. Was my voice doing that weird holographic thing again? This is that's so weird. I don't know. I've been the way I've been channeling. I've been tapping into a wider pool. Like I've been really clearing up that connection. So weird stuff might be happening that I'm really just unaware of. So if you guys are experiencing weird stuff, feel free to ask because I'm telling you, they've been helping. They've been helping a lot. That's the third time. The third time I've heard a being in the apartment do that, like tapping something. That's so strange. I'm telling you, I've been working a lot on this. A lot. And not even intentionally. I've just been going deeper, like running at the storm. because it makes like a lot of stuff just doesn't make sense. And when you start asking why it doesn't make sense, it starts making sense. The many paths is a number 7. The medicine wheel is a number 8. The sweat lodge card is a number 9. And then we have Pachamama, which is number 4, and the luminous warrior, number 5. Gaia needs her luminous warrior. What does that mean planetarily? A new light source. What does it mean energetically, individually? Check your solar plexus. And I keep seeing the moon in the heart space. So if you're imagining like green or things like that in your heart space, try to imagine that light of the moon. That. Was it like the star of Venus? Because look. You see them? There's little stars of Venus in there. So when you're healing your energy centers, do this later on today. Just kind of sit there and sense the subtle energy. Visualize the star of Venus everywhere. You can, there's a frequency where when you look at it with cymatics, it looks like the star of Venus. Google it or look it up. I think 700 something or 600 something. Because here the number 6 is missing. There's 2 6s in the Dreams of Gaia cards. The 6 of air and the 6 of earth. In regular tarot, that could be kind of like, okay, Sophie, I hear you. It could be kind of like, rude. Moving away from habits. Oh, Jesus. This chair is so high. These 2 are the ones that fell. The witness and the sorcerer. And 6. 12 and 10. Okay. Oh. Again. Okay, so 4 plus 8 is 12. This is 12. This right now isn't giving me the same kind of bad juju it usually does. It's kind of giving me Artemis, Athena, Diana kind of vibes. The one with the owls. The ones with the owls. Tapping into that within yourself. In your heart space that's illuminated by lunar light instead of green. Change things around energetically. Those of you doing earth magic or rituals and stuff that are dealing with negative energy, be careful. There are forces watching you that are going to strike if like you use that energy of planet Earth to hurt other people, because it's doing all that weird bad stuff is doing something weird and bad to the earth. So it's time to really use your magic, whoever you are, to start a practice every day. Do something where with intention you send out a blessing to planet Earth. in order to balance whatever is going on collectively and individually, the balance part is in the heart of Gaia, which requires I'm going to let it come out because I don't want to keep saying it. The union of two things, spirit and matter, upper world. This is a whole bunch of other messages in this. There's some deep wounds in some of you regarding children you lost. Take care of those wounds. And love those parts of you that are grieving. And use your magic, your intentions every day, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, whether it's lighting a candle, saying a prayer, folding napkins, cleaning your house, whatever, that you are helping clean up you around you. Oh my God. Again. Okay, Sophia. Okay. Okay. Be on the board. There you go. It's so annoying. Come on. Can't silently suffer all day long, Miss Planet Earth. Thank you. Remember when you were a wild woman? Remember when you were a huntress or an Amazon? When you danced in the storm? Or when you saw any obstacle, you were like, why would I even walk that? I can fly over it. Or when you thought it was sand, maybe it's really clear water. Change how you look at things. And change what you're doing every day. And do it again in the old ways of doing it with magic. Use magic, bro. It's time. Use your magic to help the earth. Everybody wants something, right? Well, we'd all have whatever it is we need if the earth wasn't underneath our feet, losing her fucking mind because of what's happening on or in her or around her and in every mind of every person that's setting foot on her every fucking day. With all that energy and all that sadness and all that confusion and all that doubt and all the dark magic and all the crazy other shit going on all the time. And we're supposed to be the earth keepers. There's that same rainbow from the sorcerer card being sent out as an intention of healing, to bringing beauty back. And it's with every single person individually and their chakra system. How you guys are expressing yourselves every single day. And what you contain yourself in regarding your concepts of what you should be and shouldn't be, or what you are and what you aren't, based on other people's perception. Remember, not everyone's chakra system is like this. Some of them are like this. These things don't work. They don't work. So stop wasting your time with them. They just don't work. The only reason even dark intentions are cast into the world, supposedly, or projected into the world, is as a no, fuck it. It's basically, are you going to respond to that negative thing and gain ego and arrogance and pride and all of that through that negative method, or are you going to and go the path of grace? You can see the world being absolutely batshit crazy. Are you making political posts and memes about it? Or are you going and doing what's needed to be done? You see the problem. Can you come up with the solution? Or are you going to sit there picking away at the problem? Oh no. So, drum, drum, drum. You guys want to be free of the demiurge and the construct and all that stuff, right? Cool. Everybody does. Even the demiurge wants to be free of how people view it. So in order to do that, you have got to change the way you perceive your reality and yourself, because magic is real. Using it negatively does nothing but hurt your vessel. Using it positively does everything beneficial for everybody. And if you use it with intent back to the source where the magic comes from, God and the earth, to restore balance, then you become a beacon of light. Even if you're a dark soul, even if you think you're unforgiven and all that stuff, the second you actually take that power, which is your own power, and use it to cut the shit with what you're doing with yourself, you can evolve. But if you're just gonna, do you need a napkin? Because you can do that for decades. It ain't gonna change anything. Do you think Cleopatra sat there crying over, Alexander or Julius, any of them? I was there. She spent a few minutes crying, and then she was like, "What are we gonna do?" And I was like, I have an idea. Use your you beneficially. And really start asking yourself, who the fuck put it in your head that this is normal? What's the solution? Come on. Come on. Come on. Right? Inclusion, not exclusion. You want justice, you want order, you want balance, you want goodness and love and all of that stuff. But what do you spend your day doing? How are you being that thing you want for other people and yourself? Right? There's a lot, and you got to ask yourself all those questions and like really sit down and write it and do all those things. But listen, bro, seriously, every day you're a new person. We all are. Every single fucking day. Every day and every moment, we don't grieve for who we could have been and who we're not being based on what effort we're not putting in. And then we take it out on everything else. All because not only are we all sensing our own bullshit, but we're also sensing ancient planetary fucking trauma. And if we just sit there going, nope, no, no, because Gaia doesn't get the opportunity to say, when she does that, we have massive tornadoes and floods and volcanoes and adversity and weird fucking viruses and bacteria and all sorts of crazy shit that happens when Mother Earth goes bananas. When Father God gets angry, what happens? A whole bunch of shit. When the planets get too close to each other or too far away from each other, what happens? A whole bunch of stuff. What happens when you're thinking really negative thoughts and you're feeling really negative and then you're looking at your reality? It's really negative, right? But if you keep changing it, you can keep evolving. But you have to be emotionally fucking aware that you have to grieve for who you were and who you are, because who you are right now, you're not even really going to remember it 2 weeks from now. This moment right now can basically be nothing in a year. You won't even remember this unless you click this video and you don't remember what you were thinking. And then this person, this vibration, is who you are, who your apartment or your house is laid out, your friends, your family, the people in your life might or might not be there. They might be different. Your connections might be different. When are you going to appreciate now, but also appreciate the future at the same time? So that when you're in the future, you can remember the past and not listen to idiots on the internet tell you to let it all go and move away and build walls and boundaries and shields and defend. Fuck off. You're going to regret that later, aren't you? Because you push people you love away, aspects of yourself, denying one thing over the other because they said, because he said, because she said, because, oh, this boo boo, or oh, that ouchie. But what's happening in the meantime? A waste of life. And then where does all that anger go? At God and the self. And then what do you need? Healing. What does that healing look like? Reopening those wounds. What does that feel like? Trauma, triggers. How can you avoid all that in the first place? Deal with your shit right here and right now in this now day. That way, your next now day, you can actually experience different emotions because you're not holding that bottle inside you saying, oh, I can't deal with this right now. No, go and just fucking deal with it. Oh my God, they're so ridiculous. And then calling people, oh, NPCs and this. Remember the whole dark magicians and all this shit? Like, they have no power unless you think they have fucking power. How many different ways have I shown you guys common collective consciousness beliefs being played out in day to day? I've literally shown you this every fucking day on live camera on the fucking internet. All of the ways humans respond to each other in an extreme, playing it out in front of you in little knots. You guys have learned a lot, haven't you? But have you applied it to your life? Are there people in your life you can be helping? Is there something you can be doing in your neighborhood to make it better instead of looking at it and saying, oh? Is there someone you really love that you're really fucking miserable without, but you're just not with them? Are you holding on to someone that doesn't want to be with you because you keep thinking, oh, they love me anyway? Maybe their soul loves you, but their physical expression doesn't. How much more are you going to cry about it? They don't like you. Now, can you like you instead? because there's billions of people out there and infinite possibilities, and every second you can attract something different if you stop thinking you're not worth it, because then you're thinking you're not worth it, and they treat you like you're not worth it, and then they let you go like you're not worth it, and then you think God thinks you're not worth it, and then you want to give up on life, and then that whole spiral has to go all the way back up. But then you need this, because you can't go from, oh, I know everything, to, oh shit, without time out. You know nothing. Start over. Heal. Adjust. Accept what you love and what you don't. And see things clearly. And accept that sometimes you will never be able to see things clearly. Because there are forces at play that are not going to tell you. And there are other forces at play making you constantly go in a different direction, so that you can figure out, which way do I want to go? What do I want? You want somebody to love you, right? To hold you, to cuddle you, or to someone, for someone, to love, to take care of, and world peace, and end of world hunger and all that stuff, right? Cool. But if your reality is a projection of your beliefs, your actions, and your thoughts, is what you think is happening in reality actually happening? And if the mind is that powerful, and televisions are programming your mind into thinking certain things are happening, and then you feel like shit during those experiences, don't you realize that you contributed to that bullshit globally by adding your energy to it in a frequency of fear? So how do you undo a giant global curse? Stop fueling it. Let it dissipate like a storm. Just let it go. Some things you let go. Other things you got to cultivate. So while you're letting those old pieces go, start building the new pieces underneath. What questions do you have, Rebecca? And thank you. There was this whole something going on, like this whole message. This is literally all that needs to be said about all of it. Open your arms and embrace oblivion, because who you are now is never going to be who you are again, and who you will be then is going to be different too. So find peace in that pain you feel, and balance with that, your actual dreams, the things that are the solution to that pain. And no matter where someone is on their spiritual path, the easiest way to shake up their routines and habits, the easiest way, change the way they look at God. Because our internal structure of what we think God is broken, but it's repairable. They'll be okay. The more you worry, the more you're contributing to that worry energy, which then creates more worry, which then strengthens that negative thought of being worried about them, which then would bring to manifestation the entire thing you're trying to avoid. Worry is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Get angry at yourself when you worry. Instead of worry, do something to help them. Take action to help them. What do they need? Soup, medicine, clothes, blankets, money. You're worried? Do something about it. That worry is a sign that your heart chakra needs action. So, what do they need? Give it to them. If you can't give it to them, put the effort in to find some way to give it to them. But first and foremost, ask yourself what you need, because that worry energy is first in you, and it's bringing something to your awareness first. So when I asked you what they need, you probably thought immediately of what you need, didn't you? You do the thing that you need. That way, you can really comprehend what they actually need. Because maybe what they need is just you to be near them. I've asked the Sophia in me, my whole self, all of me, all the versions of me, what we need. And I keep being told the same thing. I don't know what the word for it is because I have no memory of ever receiving the thing I need or I think I need. Instead, what I'm getting is the foundations to hold that thing. It's kind of like, I mean, really, I've even experienced faith, love, hope, and charity being used against me as weapons. Okay. Gods, the Elohim, and the source, and all of that have literally pushed me in certain lifetimes away harshly, but for a reason. Most people look at me because you're doing that. It was because I was constantly doing things good for everybody else but me. And they were like, nope, go sit down. So I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And now it's kind of like, oh, the one thing I need has been what I've been doing eternally. And I've been doing it so much, I don't know how to receive it. I've become stuck in a loop of complete independence, frighteningly. So for me, the fear aspect of my life is like a partner. It's kind of like Gaia having a binary planet with it. What the fuck? The seasons would change, rhythm would change, elements, the light, the days of the month, calendars would change. Everything on planet Earth would change if the Earth had one more sun or one more, a binary with it. Or even if the moon was a lush planet, everything would be different. All of the sadness, the isolation, Gaia being stuck away from, Saturn and Jupiter and all those orbits and stuff. Because really, look at the solar system, it's wonky. So it's like the solar system chakra system is off too. If it was realigned, that's like a pole shift, isn't it? Everything changing. What does that mean? You have to grieve for this entire age we've been living. Twisted, broken, blown, decaying, confused, thinking that everybody, the world, the governments, aliens are all like horrible beings. Nope, that's just because it's been a distortion. What are you going to do if that was actually the case? What did most people do? Buy toilet paper! Quick, wear a mask! Quick, start this, this kablooey or that kablooey. Oh no. Religious this or boundaries and territories and lines and states and maps. And it's like the whole point of it was, the apocalypse. Hi, everybody. Here's all the worst that could ever happen. How are you going to respond to it? And people are like, wah! Like, no, 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 no. We're supposed to do it better because everything we've done led up to that. Now, if we keep doing it, it'll keep continuing like it has, right? So, what do you do to fix it? Yeah. Bro, I could not stop laughing for like a week when I found that out. I even went to the Dollar Tree and I'm like, oh my god, they really do buy all the things. Even my mom like sent me boxes of it, and I'm like, this is enough for an entire year. What do you want me to do with this? So you're gonna need it. Okay, whatever. The world's gonna need it. Well, I didn't even know the whole thing had started until my sister came here. She's like, "Where's your face mask?" I'm like, "My what? Where are we going?" It had no like I had no idea about any of it. So I didn't feed it one bit, really. I don't feed any of that stuff. It's like even people who are like, "Oh, you have to find the balance of the light and the dark in you." Okay, so what are you gonna do? Go punch a nun? Like, you don't need to be evil and do all that shit, right? You can balance it by using that harshness and that energy towards your body to command it into healing, wouldn't you? Instead of hating someone, you can hate something in yourself that breaks you down and then rebuild it better. You can redirect that negative energy and vibration towards things within you that you can improve. Instead of knowing you have flaws, but you don't do anything about them other than be mean to other people about it, you know? So it's like if I'm angry at Mickey Mouse for not marrying Minnie Mouse. This is like the worst fucking example ever. Like if I'm upset that certain things aren't happening, how long can I possibly stay upset for? Before I either acknowledge like, "Whoa, you've been upset for a really long time, let's do something about it," or let's just keep being more upset. I don't know. Mhm. Right? It's just like at this point, it's like what happened with everybody being made for pleasure and freedom and joy and unity, family, growing gardens and all this stuff, right? Like we can have a more society and stuff and move into future age. But do you want to move into it with the way these people are now in your own realities? No, right? You want it all up leveled. Even the spiritual woo woo bullshit needs to level up and be more authentic because a lot of them are like, love and light, like, fuck off. No, it's not all about love and light. It's about balance. It's about justice. It's about order. It's about unity and family. It's about self love and service to other with knowing that in order to serve others, you have to have service to self first, balanced. Then you can be in service to others without being a codependent, doormat, because you then have confidence through the solar plexus. You have creativity and passion, stand your ground, and you're sacred. You have the means and the know it all and all that to get what you need financially to do what you need to because you're following your passion, right? The thing that brings you a higher vibration, which means the money just flows right in. The people, the tribes, all of it show up. Why aren't they showing up for some people? Why is their reality distorted? The same reason that they all each individually know because of what they think about themselves and when they're doing dishes, the simple things in life, the thoughts they're thinking and the things they're doing, they're constantly filling their auric field with that bullshit. And then they walk in the world spewing that bullshit energetically with a fake customer service representative smile saying that, oh, love and light. Hmm. They're most of them are unaware of entities and like lower vibratory beings who are actually really of the light. Think about it this way. You have solar light, you have starlight from a distance, you have black light in light bulbs, you have a light bulb you can paint in a bunch of different colors, but you also have halogen lighting, don't you? You have electricity, you have candle light, flashlight, laser light. It's all the light, isn't it? Angels are the highest order. They're all angels, aren't they? But with a chakra system, what are they? Narcissists. Think about it. There are different aspects and wavelengths to all light and dark. The light can burn you deeper than fire. The light can erase everything, while the dark stores it all and holds on to it, perpetually becoming like dense and matter and lost in its infiniteness. But the light, there's no infinity in light. Think about it. If you're in a room of all white light, there's nothing, nothing. If you're in the abyss where it's complete dark, it feels infinite, like you're falling, but you're just standing there. And then when you bring those two together, what do you get? Do you think all of this is all the entire planet, that it's all high vibe and love, God energy? There's hate, but that hate is being misdirected and scattered instead of focused for self improvement and improvement of society. Why? Because everybody is going, Daddy, fix it, instead of, okay, what do we need to do? What are they doing instead? Fix it, fix it, fix it. And then the universe gives you all inspirations, it gives all sorts of assistance, all sorts of things. And then what happens? People, what do they do when people start feeling better? They go and chill out and watch TV and relax. What do they do when they get the inspiration? They're like, oh, I'm not even going to write it down. I'll remember it later. And they don't. For real. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. I've been, I don't know. I have memories of being with Mother Mary in her house and little blue house in Mexico and a bunch of other little cottages. And I always remember there's a cottage in the forest that has like all the different trees. And inside of it was a woman named Miriam that lived there. And she would always help me out. Like growing up, she was always in my dreams and reality. I'd run in the forest and somehow I'd be running suddenly in that place of the world. It was so weird. It was like teleportation. So fucking weird. But she would always help me. She had like plants hanging everywhere. She had crystals and herbs and fireplace and candles, and it was magical. So no matter what I do in like decorating or anything, part of her vibration, that deep earthy earth mother vibe, is always like influencing everything. So I'm glad it's being noticed. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, this place is so such a like a lady lives here. It's driving me crazy. And then I'm like, man, I can't tell you how many fucking times I want to just paint it all, black or paint it all purple or just change it all with whatever. And then I'm like, oh, this is part of the energy expression. One day it's, living in this kind of house. The next day it's feeling like this kind of person or that kind of person. It's a constant flux. But that whole daddy complex, if I was going to perpetually sit here going, oh, Yahweh, Yeshua, Mother Mary, Isis, oh, please fix all my problems. I'm going to wait. Oh, you'll regrow my teeth. Oh, you'll make certain everything's going to be balanced and I'll never get sick ever. Ooh, it doesn't work, does it? We have to put effort and action into the things we want. And there has to be a balance of faith, intention, magic, and then action and belief in what you're doing and who you are. You have to have that cross within you that you bear be the cross that keeps you centered in you and your heart space. Like Jesus said, right? Like, go in your heart, be balanced, and find it inside you. Bring harmony to the moon and the sun. The moon and the sun. Well, for you, I guess it's the other way. I don't know why it's fucking reversed, but whatever. The daddy complex is there to help people grow up. That's what Yahweh does. He's there as a God of justice and order to bring people past certain ages, to make certain that they're growing up. It's kind of like, oh, fucking fuck. Kind of like your grandpa, making sure that you're ready to drive a car. But people use him as a end-all be-all justification and excuse for everything. They blame, it's always God's fault. It's always God's everything. Well, technically, yes, but you're co-creating with God. Why aren't you saying anything about what's happening in your life? Why are you afraid of your creator? How can you ever be a person of love if you're sitting there on your knees? Daddy, help me. Get up. Clean your room. Like, really think about it. Jesus Christ himself said that it's his father or mother, right? All the time he always called it mother, father. The monad, the genderless, or you can look at it as Barbello, the divine androgen, right? The eternal mother. Whatever you want to look at it as. He called it his parent. So the monad called Yahweh a parent, right? Kind of, sort of, depending on how many religions you want to mix into it. But now, here's the solar dragon. So now we have balance of the sun and the moon. Your masculine and your feminine. Your anger and your creation, your receptivity and your whatever. You cannot look at God as your taskmaster or your boss or your creator. You have to look at it as you with your divine parent. Okay? If you're sitting there praying and worshiping the gods and you're showing reverence to them and your ancestors, but you're being a pussy bitch about it and you're just being like, no. Don't grovel. No. You want to grovel? Have more things to grovel about. You want to be whiny and sad? Have more things. Have so much more until you can't tolerate yourself in that state. Because that's what those parents and divine beings do. They're not going to be like, oh, you're hurt, little baby. Oh. No. You're hurt? Here, have more. How much more hurt is enough before you fix it? You're a part of God's family. God doesn't want you to be a weak, knee-bending, sage stick wielding, hiding behind a cross, afraid of everything while you're holding a symbol of his death on your neck, saying that, oh, you believe in balance, order, and justice, and love, and all that stuff, and the light. But then you want to fight and create, division and distortion and chaos, and you want to attack other God's children. And then you lie or you do whatever, or you let people do that around you and you don't say anything. It perpetually does what? Imbalance the masculine and feminine. Because you, everybody, as a representative of God in form, are supposed to maintain the balance of heaven and earth within yourself and with others. And if you're not doing that, because you'd rather face this and be stopped by it, because, oh, God will handle it, it's all God's plan. No, no, no. You either help or you get off the planet. You either raise your vibration and help heal the damage caused by your vibration, or you get off the planet. And if you get off the planet, guess what? You're going to come right back again as someone with a clean slate. Is that worth it to lose everything you've been through in this life? Because some of you insist on either being side seekers, like silent witnesses. Others want to be in the fray, in the front lines, fighting a fight that doesn't need to be fought. Or do you want to be a balancing point of wisdom and clarity and home and family of what the actual path forward is? Which side do you want to go? Left wing, right wing? Which one? Light or dark? Sun or moon? We can play the yo-yo game all day long. But it's still playing with two planets, two orbs, the sun and the moon, the male and the female, the mind, when the key of all of it is the fucking planet you're on. And what you're doing as a being on that planet. What if Yahweh is a dragon? What if Gaia is a fucking dragon? What if she just wants to spread her wings and fly away and go home, but she can't because there's a bunch of little critters holding on her? And she's forced to sit there in the fucking abyss at the lowest part of the tree of life going, when are these kids going to learn? If everyone individually decided to stop being douchebags to themselves and others, problem solved. Nope, actually, no. That's when you get the silence. Then you can do something to make things better. But you can't go from two, because then it looks like I can't do this when you're really doing this. Yes, Jesus, I love you. And then you turn around and go, oh, fuck that bitch over there, fuck that bitch over there. And then you want God to bless you with what? You see people hurting and, you have billions of dollars in your bank account. And people are like, oh, God is just a power source, a battery source. We manifest our own reality. Look at what reality they've manifested for themselves with those beliefs. Who's richer, Elon Musk or me? Who has more money, Elon Musk or me? Musk. Who's living a more rich life, second by second, of being totally with themselves, by themselves, with no distractions other than to be and love themselves? He has corporations to run. I have things to decorate and clean. If he has a dental problem, he's going to handle it way differently than I even have the options of doing. In my reality, those medicines don't even exist. But to him and that billionaire, he probably has like scientific fucking stem cell something or other that just regrows them like that. Or they just clone themselves a new body or some shit. Am I going to sit here and go, no? Am I going to be miserable at God about it? Am I gonna sit there and waste my life thinking, "Please, Sky Daddy, heal my teeth." You know what? I'm just gonna yank them out because apparently it is what it is. God did not, magically, mysteriously do all that stuff, did it? So when you guys are making all those intentions or not making them, is it really God doing it? Or is God kind of watching you like a parent going, these little kids always blaming me? And then they come running to me on bended knee going, please, please, please. And then you only talk to God in one aspect with the penis. Don't you know what happens when you bend your knee in front of someone with a dick? At all? What happens when you bend your knee in front of someone with a vagina? She usually smacks you and says, "Get up." Or she thinks you're about to marry her, right? So if you're bending your knee in front of a god or gods and you're begging them, what makes your voice so different than the trillions of others in existence? Nothing, right? What makes you so important for God to grant your intentions and desires over the rest of the people who are actually doing something different and beneficial? So really think about it. Are your intentions and wants and desires actually what you want, or are you exactly where you need to be, doing and feeling exactly what you need to be doing and feeling and experiencing to be a better version of yourself? I don't care if someone's homeless on the street or if they're falling into a volcano or flying through space. Don't care. They're going through something that will improve them. They're going through it because of their own interactions with the cosmic tapestry. It is their story and their line. What isn't our place is to save them from it. What is our place to do is to provide support, nourishment, sacred space, comfort, unity, family, beauty, nature, a place to heal so that they can go through what they're going through and we're there as God informed, creating action. Okay? That's a big difference between seeing somebody hurt and saying, "Let me fix it for you." Nope. Like, what do I need? What do I really logically in three-dimensional reality need? More money, simply, and a companion, somebody with a car. I mean, that, and it's not even a need. It would just make things easier. Am I in dire, like, distress because of the lack of it? No. Was I? Yeah. What's happened since then? I've gotten a lot more confident and secure in my own ability to survive through all sorts of bullshit even thrown at me by gods. So, thanks for not giving me a car all this time. Look at it differently. I spent 36 years as a quote unquote woman in a man's body. Now it's been like 6 years on and off of inaccurate hormones and everything else, and God knows how long I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life in whatever the fuck gender I'll be. What am I gonna do? I can't even get rid of my fucking goatee that comes in. It's all white. Not even laser hair removal works when there's no electrolysis around here. Am I gonna hate God for making me this way? No. But I might show up on camera with a goatee one of these days and be like, "You like my goatee?" I can't fight it. I can run from it. May as well benefit from it. So, what's going on in your life that you can't run from and you can't really change and you hate about yourself? What if that's the thing that, like, you're supposed to be embracing with the other thing? What if everybody that's like transitioning from one gender to the next or stuck in one gender would be better off as both as one? instead of male or female? What if you think of yourself as a hermaphrodite? Stop trying to heal the masculine and the feminine side. Put them all together. What does that look like to you? Because remember, the DNA strands got screwed with. The chromosomes were screwed with. This is all part of a cosmic tapestry to help you realize who you are. So if you're stuck on the male side, nope. You're stuck on the female? Nope. Stuck on the Father God? Nope. Stuck on Mother God? Nope. Those are all wrong. No, no, no. There's division in all of that. So what do you look like as a hermaphrodite? What does God look like? Not just of justice and order and the ever-loving Prince of Peace, but also the mother of balance, of nature, of dark matter, of time and space, along with compassion and kindness and mercy and the laws of Ma'at kind of thing. What does that look like as a God? Instead of just the father or the mother, instead of just Gaia by herself, what does Gaia look like with a binary partner? What does a life on Earth look like with that gravitational force right there, and then the Earth vibrating at a higher frequency? If the Earth evolved to a star, your entire surface would be luminous on its own at very subtle wavelengths. And from a distance in space, it would look like the Earth was luminous, like the moon or the sun. But just underneath the ozone is an active planet. Did that light bulb go off yet? So, what's underneath your auric field? The good and the bad. If you stop trying to get rid of the bad and you used it for good for yourself, what does that look like? I guess I need to step up to crazy. I thought I was like going to be way more crazy than anybody. Thank you, Rebecca. That's the third time in a few weeks I've heard that they remind someone of their mother or their aunt. I'm like, oh, thank you. I hope I'm doing them like. I don't know what your mom went through or has gone through, but most mental psychosis problems are due to heightened extrasensory perception abilities. So your mom's probably really magical and powerful, but no one ever told her. So her neural network and her chakra systems have been misfiring to make her express in a chaotic way, which means the more chaotic she is, she's probably really, really magical and stable. She just needs the grounding force, which is more energetic, internal, and etc. So start looking at her differently. Because remember, the more you look at her that way, the more you look at her as crazy or whatever in your process of going through your life, those thoughts will always somehow be internal to you. So eventually, when you start seeing yourself and your mom as one person in the mirror, which happens to everybody, you don't want to think of yourself the way you think of her and then to become aware of those emotions at the same time. It's heartbreaking because underneath all of that is really deep, deep love. And when you can restore and replenish that connection, your life will change drastically because your connection to your mother and your grandmother and your great grandmother is continuous. The line goes through the in between the solar plexus and the sacral, your belly button. That's like the seat of life kind of thing. When you're disconnected from that, from your mother in any kind of way, it creates a lack of nourishment in the life. That's why people run to the father or to men with seed. So when you can fix that connection with the mother, it's kind of like a dragon being asexual or self reproducing, which goes into the system being healed internally and creating the possibility of parthenogenesis. So what you see in her or other people as problems or whatever, if you, whoever you are that sees that stuff, can change your perspective as if it's a gift that person has that they're unaware of using the right way, maybe you're there, you see the crazy so that you can help them realize it's not crazy, it's actually a psychic ability. Or if someone has an OCD where they like have to count something, maybe they're, really gifted at being mathematicians and no one ever told them or thought about it. But they have an OCD with counting, tiles or some shit. Or if someone is constantly organizing colors in alphabetical order or like doing weird OCD things, right? Like autism spectrum type stuff. What does that usually mean? It's a really gifted mind that's being limited. So give them paint, give them something to color with, give them numbers to work with, have them utilize sound frequencies, numerical things, geometry. Everyone's crazy. Like everyone, like if crazy is a pet you have, everyone's crazy is there to show someone them their gift. My crazy started with me hearing voices. And I would see people. I've always done a lot of weird shit my entire life. I started a to fire with my hands when I was 2. So we're not going to get all into that. But when it really started kicking up, where I was like, whoa, this isn't like nobody else is kind of like this, was when I was sitting on like benches in parks. We would go places and I would see people's faces shift. And then I would start hearing things. And I was like, oh no, I'm going crazy. And then I got a book on 21 Lessons of Merlin when I was 18. And I was like, oh, I'm not hearing voices. I'm translating subtle energies that I'm picking up through my vibrations, and they're being translated through my mind into language that I'm hearing internally. And then I recognized to use it clairvoyantly, psychically, astrally, remotely, 4 decades later. Here we are. Every mother loves every child. I don't care what anybody says. I've had children I don't even remember having anymore, and I love them still. So. If you go into a mental hospital, which I've been in when I was a teenager, everyone there was actually fucking psychic. And the doctors there were just filling everybody up with pills, telling them, no, you're just it's a neural network misfiring, it's this, it's that. But no, it's actually due to a lack of expression of that energy center. So mental illness, just like depression and all that, is simply a lack of energetic expression internally from that energy center. If you're depressed, you should probably be singing or dancing, cuddling or having sex or cooking something or eating, and you should not be beating yourself up over it. What works for you works for you. Sometimes I love eating a fucking cheeseburger. Like, oh my god, cheeseburger with bacon and all that mayo and all that goodness. Mm-mm. But if I eat it like two times a month, I'm like, sometimes, man, give me that burger. You need a little bit of balance. It doesn't have to be a meat burger, for example, but just eat it. And if I don't express that, if I don't have that kind of greasy sandwich thing, what do I end up doing? Eating a bunch of potato chips, eating a bunch of ice cream, eating a bunch of random things, smoking this, smoking that, being bored, wasting my time doing other things. Why? Because I'm not giving the thing that wants expression. I just want a burger. So some part of me internally is like, give me a burger, or I'm gonna drive you nuts until you give me a burger. For others, it's like psychic powers. They have clairvoyance, and they're like, oh, I keep seeing things in the corner of my eye. Well, why don't you go look for them and focus? Like, you're hearing voices? Cool. What are they saying? You see things, ghosts? Cool. Why don't you have a conversation with them? You keep having visions or like seizures? What are you seeing during those seizures? What are you thinking and feeling? Think about it. Everything happens under God's guidance, nothing to punish you. So, what is the wisdom in it? If a giant alien race comes down and stomps the entire human race, everybody's going to be like, battle, defenses, global this, global that. But what if they just are like, whoops, whoops, our airplane crashed, our spaceship crashed, sorry. And then humans are like, oh no, what are they saying? Fire. Like, nope, they were just saying sorry. A child that has nightmares. People are like, oh, that kid's having constant nightmares. What are you going to do about it? Give her pills. No. Why is the kid sad? If you're, if someone's really narcissistic, you can fix that. If it's you, if it's someone around you, the only way to fix it in someone else is through the soul, the energy centers. Because all it is a lack of compassion. That's all. That's all narcissism is towards the self. Why? Because at a young age, empaths are broken, traumatized, damaged, and then imprinted energetically like a psychic imprint from someone else. So the empath draws it in of someone older who is distorted and damaged and already established narcissism. They imprint that child, and the child grows up being fucked up. But internally, they're a good person. Especially if they have psychic powers and they grow up crazy, batty, on tons of medication, when the solution is really simple. Hi there, you have psychic powers. This is how you're supposed to use them. We don't really know the extent of it. Humanity's still learning. You're not crazy. You actually just have superpowers that you're just learning about. Hence why when I say sense subtle energy, some of you are like, what do you mean? Can you go like this and feel the air? Now, can you feel the air molecules? Can you feel anything else? How does it feel to you? To me, sometimes it feels like a bunch of spider webs, really thin, ethereal lines. Sometimes it's like a bunch of little bubbles that I'm pushing up against. Sometimes it's like a dense rock that's next to me. Sometimes it's like a weird, weird thing. It's all different wavelengths, frequencies. And if I didn't sense that, I'd be walking going, whoa, I'm getting dizzy. I need to go to a doctor for vertigo medication. But it's just energy rising up that I'm supposed to ground. It's so simple. It's so simple. But you have to listen to your body compassionately. Not like, oh, I've been drinking all this and I've been smoking all that and I've been fucking and sucking and fighting and casting curses and all this blah. No, no, that's just a tantrum. It's just your body crying out for something. You'd know it if you were compassionate enough to yourself to actually listen to what the pain is showing you. They always tell you everything's going to be okay. They usually call you beloved. They are super nice. They are always giving you euphoric sensations in your body that are absurd. It's kind of like a high. Or they focus you on one emotion. and frequency. So I'm not going to do it, but it's kind of like your spirit, my spirit guides, the guides I communicate with, they never talk in any way, ever. The only things I ever hear internally are actual energetic patterns and threads, like that inner dialogue. I don't know if everybody has it or not, but when I know it's an entity, my emotions get drained or heightened and then drained. It's kind of like a external something that affects the internal. When it's spirit guides, it's kind of in the environment around you, your reality, what you're perceiving, responding to you. So you might get like an itchy nose, you might get tinglies, you might get like a ooh, an epiphany moment, or you might be talking and then you start stuttering. That's usually them doing like this kind of stuff around you because they're literally right here. So whenever you're saying something or you're about to, they're like right on the nose, almost here, listen to it. It's kind of like charades. And they'll keep changing the way they talk to you. So sometimes when they want you to be more claircognizant or clairsentient, they'll do more touchy feely stuff. When you stop getting those messages, it's kind of like they want you to be more clairvoyant, to look for them in places. When you're learned, mostly on that, they go to the hearing. You start hearing pitched noises and weird sounds in the distance, and it's like I've heard something drop in the distance a few times today. And I immediately, the first two times I felt the, whoa, what was that? And then I realized by the third time, it's like they're testing my reactions to jumpy things. And by the third time, I was like, stop it. And they did. And it was done. Like it just didn't happen anymore. Um, but entities, especially those who claim they're channeling Jesus or Mary Magdalene and all this stuff, entities, how do I word this to you? Your brain does everything, okay? Your brain and God. So in between that, if you yourself consciously allow any kind of entity to speak through you, which I never recommend doing, ever, it's kind of like the energy comes in, it goes into your entire system, gets processed into language and out. But it's not your energy, it's another energy. So what that causes to the body is damage in a way because it's like putting an AC/DC current into something that's not using that. Oh, don't worry about it. You're not a muggle. If you're asking about this, you have magic. Don't worry about that. But entities, the first telltale sign of anybody channeling a fucking entity is they call it by name. And it's usually, oh, beloved, we gather in this. No. Gods, guides, ancestors, alien beings, higher dimensional beings, even different beings in these realities. Nobody sits there going, dearly beloved, we're gathered here to talk about Archangel Michael. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, that's not, no. Well, that's not channeling. That's someone possessed by an entity. Like real channeling, bro. When it's real fucking channeling, you guys by now I've shown you firsthand when I'm really tuning into Gaia and Sophia and the Amazon vibe and all of that, you see shit changing. You feel it changing. My body fucking changes. My face changes. My voice changes. The things I channel, the way I speak, but it all changes to a clean, stable, graceful, coherent, authentic vibration, right? It's exactly what it is. Dearly beloved, give me your energy. I'm like, nope, nope, no. Your energy is your own. If anyone's trying to take your energy, they're a parasite. If anyone's constantly being like showing you shit on camera, like that other person I used to watch on YouTube who was like, "Oh, I hold the souls of my enemies in this." Like, motherfucker, what kind of a child of God are you? And if you claim you have enemies, bro, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, they do so many stupid things. And it's like, if you just use wisdom and common sense, any nitwit sitting there pretending to be channeling Jesus, do you really think the fucking Messiah, son of Mary, son of God, God incarnate himself, is going to sit there and Joe Schmo down the fucking street being channeled in a fucking car? If I'm going to sit here and actually do a real legit channeling for you and calling in like the energies of, something not in my field, like I wouldn't even know, like it's calling in, art, alien energy, like a gray aliens or something, or mantis beings, or they're part of the spiritual team and all that stuff, but something I'm not involved in daily, right? And if I do that, I'm going to have to set a sacred space. I'm going to have to adjust my vibration, my eating habits, my energy levels, my etc. for days on end to make certain my human vibration, my God vibration here, matches and bends to that of an entirely different species of life. And then I can somehow form a communication channel between those two forces and then somehow express it out. But if I don't even do that, and I'm just sitting there going, click, open the channel, Archangel Betty Boop, and yeah, the dearly beloved, thank you for your everything, giving it to me. Yes, your energy is so tasty. No, no, that's entities and not good entities. Those are what you call trickster beings, who are literally nothing more than the equivalent of high school football players. No offense, but you know the kind of stereotype I'm talking about. Those entities who claim they are Archangel Michael or from whatever, they're basically just high school jocks in the spirit realms playing really funny jokes on people. And if you just look at it for what it is, you're going to be like, it's kind of like all the absurdity of light language lately. Light language doesn't work that way. Sound emitted by wavelengths of light can be mimicked by the voice. So if there's like a long wave of like violet light, it might sound something like kind of. But if a being is sending me light language, or if I'm channeling light language through me, it's not going to be beep, 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 bullshit, okay? Unless the message coming in is bursts of specific wavelengths of light being boop, 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 emitted that way. But language of light is transmission and translation of wavelengths of light through speech in an alphabet format. It doesn't really work that way. That's why this is more light language than anything I can give out of my mouth. Because this is light forming a language being translated by your mind and your heart. This is light language. Not, no, that's, I don't know what the fuck that is. There are some beings, some people on YouTube who are actual light language transmission channels. They are actually really good at what they do. They actually do what they do. One of them is LNL, like the letter LNL Awakening. Legit. Like, I've watched a lot of their videos and they're really good. Like, it's actual, when I listen to it, I can comprehend it in a different language. But some of these other YouTubers and other channels who are like, oh, life lesson coaching and channeling this being and that entity, and then channeling Mary Magdalene. Like, bitch, I'm right here. What are you channeling? Get the fuck out of here. And then they're all like, oh, give us this much money, give us that much money. It's a this many week course of this or that. Like, no, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. You don't need to pay any money. And they're not channeling anything other than Crayola. Do you sense that common sense, like, dope, like, kind of feeling? Demystify spirituality. What are they actually doing? Boop, 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 boop. But what are they thinking and feeling while they're doing it? What are their hands doing while they're doing it? Casting spells with intentions. So people assume it's just beneficial. If it was beneficial to you, why don't you do it yourself or learn how to do it yourself? Right? I don't do light language stuff because I speak so many ancient languages that I can just put it into words here. And if I can't, I paint it or I draw it or I write a song, a poem or something. But sitting here channeling entities and stuff for you, no, no. I love me too much to let Bob, the ghost of like whatever, pretending to be Jesus, sit in my body and tell me, we love you. Yes. No, no. Do you even see the distortion that happens? Like how I'm distorting my face when I'm emulating that energy? It's so fake, isn't it? It's so belligerent. And then can you even imagine if I had a full row of teeth, really big ones, and I'm sitting there bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, my fangs all showing and my teeth all out and my tits all out, and I'm just sitting in a fucking studio room and I'm saying, yes, I'm channeling Mother Mary. No, no, like those are fake. Real spirituality, real sacredness, real benevolence, real grace, real wisdom, real truth is simple and it's beautiful and it's kind. If it isn't those things, it's a fucking lie. And then when you're watching certain videos, like I don't know, whatever gives you tingles, right? Be careful because your energy centers are being affected. By what? Who knows? When you're here on this channel and you get those things, it's your energy internally doing it with yourself. No one else is allowed to interfere with your energies or anyone else's energies while you guys are watching these videos. Nobody. It's sacred space. This has always been the intention with me. That's why my apartment in the middle of fucking Racine, Wisconsin looks like this. Because I disallow any or that. What's yours is yours, not mine. I don't need it. I don't want it. And if you give it to me, I might give it back to you. If you want to help me, though, cool. Thank you. Thank you for donations, gifts, offerings, whatever. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm doing this for the money. Fuck off, man. Or those people who are like, oh, I'm doing this for the subscribers. Or, oh, I'm just doing this because I know people need help. That's bullshit. They don't need your help. They don't need my help. They just need someone to know what they're going through. They don't need a savior. They don't need anything. They need validation. They need comfort. They need reciprocity. You guys want to channel stuff? You guys want to read cards? You guys want to do Reiki healings and psychic surgeries and do whatever the fuck you think you're doing? Cool. Are you actually part of the problem by doing that stuff? When you come here, what do I tell you? The truth about all of it, even if it hurts. Why would I do that? Because I refuse to let you guys, because of me, spend your time here with me being worse off. So if I see the problem, if I sense it, if I'm being guided by guides, by energy fields, the spheres and things I see, by the gods themselves, by the monad, and they're like, okay, this energy, this thing, that thing. I'm going to tell you, but it's up to you to do something about it. It's up to you to actually better yourself here and now. Otherwise, this is all for nothing. Like 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is like 2 therapy sessions and everything we've gone through from quantum physics to genetics, astral and entities, religion, and how the mind works and mental illness in 2 hours for free. And during this time, your vibration has been maintained by someone's vibration in a field, a quantum resonance field, a morphic field, if you will, of a vibration that is completely not similar to many of yours. So, what's going on is it's creating a balancing point so that whenever you go this way, this channel is still here to go whoop. When you go too far up and you're like getting all lost, it's like, oh, wait, 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 wait. And have you noticed how you're very welcome, my dear? Have you noticed how usually when you guys watch these videos, you kind of feel really peaceful, chilled out, just calm, like you're at home? There's nothing really you got to do. There's nothing you really got to take care of. The problems just seem kind of workable and doable, you know? And it's just a chill vibe or some shit. I don't know what the word is. Like, I live in this all the time. I don't know what it is to me, but I'm assuming it's peaceful, right? So use this experience when you're on this channel, watching these videos and stuff, because if I was going to word all the things these videos do, I'd have like my entire empire, an enterprise building or something. I don't know how to do all that. But please just be aware that there's a lot of healing happening for you, whether you're aware of it or not. And none of it's harming you because you're obviously not being manipulated, are you? And your life actually improves, doesn't it? Things have come into your lives that have been amazing recently for a few years now, right? The world might be bonkers, but every time you guys are here or you remember me in this channel, what happens? You kind of remember the earth again, don't you? You kind of remember that Father God and the Mother Goddess aren't opposing forces, they're mother and son. You kind of remember that magic is kind of real and that maybe you're not crazy. It's kind of a yoink in like a tap on the shoulder that says, hey, it's not so bad, right? It'll be okay. So use it as that. And when you're benefiting from it, and I'm not saying this for my benefit, I'm saying this for the balance and karma energetic flow, the boomerang. When you're watching something, whether it's on this channel or on another channel, it is something with a mind and the emotions and spirit being created into matter. Okay? That thing is being experienced by others. Kind of like when you sign up for a streaming service online, you're watching content created by that platform, but you're paying for it. So energetically, it doesn't create an imbalance to where like HBO Max has to come to you and say, pay the subscription fee or you're going to be disconnected, right? As long as you're paying the subscription fee, there is a thing going where it's a symbiotic give and take of energy reciprocation, energy exchange. When you're watching certain things and there's no like button being clicked by you, there's no like comments being made, There's no interaction or any of that stuff. Hold on. When you're not contributing back in any way towards what you're receiving and consuming, it creates a block in your energetic field, which prevents, in a way, from really giving and receiving because energetically there's a part of you that withholds something in some way, intentionally or unintentionally, by a little simple thing of a energetic expression for something. Think of it in another way. When you go to like the Dollar Tree, like if I go to the Dollar Tree and the person is bagging my stuff, and I grab the bag and if I don't say thank you, there is an imbalance of energy there, isn't there? Someone made something, did something that I didn't thank them for. Now they go off in their day and not feeling thanked. And I go off my day knowing I didn't do the right thing in that situation, right? So there's a distortion. So the next time I go there, I remember again, oh, that happened. And they remember, oh, that happened. And it has to be fixed. It repeats. You've seen that for yourselves. Kind of like when people are walking down the street and they throw a wrapper down on the floor. After a week, you walk down that street and there's like 1,000 wrappers there. If you keep giving in a relationship to someone and you don't let them give to you, if you keep taking in a relationship and then you don't give back, what do they see you as? So if you're constantly giving to others and like going to every channel and like donating to everybody, that's not helping you either. So find that equilibrium. Like when Becca, I'm going to use you as an example. Like whenever Becca shows up, right? She clicks the thingies and talks and takes care of chat if there's weirdos in chat and stuff. Like there's literally no energetic negative nothing. Like it's just nothing. But if let's say I go to someone else's chat room and I'm sitting there just observing. I don't click the like button. I don't click anything. And, they're saying, oh, thank you for clicking the like button. And I'm like, oh, doesn't matter. But it kind of does, doesn't it? Like the little the little things matter, don't they? Like the interactions me and Rebecca have here are helping you guys watching at home, right? The examples I go through in my life, they're kind of helping you do the better version of those things, right? So be aware of what it looks like to a person who's going to a burger joint and saying, I want a Big Mac with fries and a large Coke and stuff. And the person's like, do you want, this or that? And they're like, no. Okay. $14. Nope, just give me the burger. Well, we're putting work into the burger. You have to pay for it. Nope. Okay, well, you can just say thank you instead. Nope, give me the burger. It's kind of like that, isn't it? So if you're someone who's constantly watching YouTube and stuff, like, oops, so it's you. If you're constantly watching YouTube and stuff, and you're just like going from one video to the next, I can almost guarantee you in the next day you're kind of just tired, right? Because there's an energetic thing that's outside of my control, outside of anyone's control, of energetic equilibrium. So if I'm going around watching 1,000 YouTube videos per day, never clicking like to any of them, in my life it might appear as me constantly doing something that I'm getting no validation, right? You'd think so, wouldn't you? But it's an equilibrium. Things being made, nothing being given in return creates an imbalance. It's like an Ace of Cups overflowing into nothing. But people watching it from a distance overflow and they're like, but that cup is all the way over there. I hope this makes sense. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it the right way. There's little things in life that matter. It's kind of like I'm just seeing this in my mind's eye now. A child crying and the mother turns around and like wipes her tears away and gives them a little kiss on the forehead. If That thing wasn't there, that child would still be crying, right? But because that energetic thing happened, there is a connection that moves to the next part now. That's another thing that another channel talked about years ago. It's like an energy exchange. So when you're buying something, let's say you go and buy a $200 crystal, right? You have an energetic response to that $200 crystal. But you're like, you get what you pay for. Yeah, and if people are coming like to this channel or to some channel who's giving free therapy, for example, like a therapist online for free, they're not going to really value that information, are they? Because they're like, well, we didn't pay for it, it's free. We didn't click the like button, we didn't even, it didn't even matter. We didn't even subscribe, didn't matter which the video I saw. But if they would have sat down, listened, really, really processed and engaged with the content creator, the course, the therapist, the whatever, they would gain more from it. If they actually sat there and they're like, oh, this crystal cost me whatever, and you know, and they're like, oh, yeah, I like it, but it's just whatever. Compared to someone who's like, yeah, I bought this for that much money and it was so great and it's helped me so much and it's so amazing. And yeah, every day I'm interacting with it and every day I tell it I love it and I'm so grateful for it and blah, 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 blah. What does that do? It builds foundations inside you, doesn't it? Because you're appreciating things more, you're interacting with things more. So when I ask you guys like, click the like or whatever, it's not really just for me because I like seeing that stuff. It's like, oh, another person liked something I made. Cool. But it's more like, oh, there's, I've noticed this even on some other channels who have like 100 million, subscribers or views on some videos, like music videos. But there's like 400 people that clicked a like button or something. And I'm like, there's like 900,000 people who didn't even bother clicking a like button. Like, what does that say about those people? And then that little thing, it proves all of people where it kind of leads to how people treat a janitor, how people treat the bag lady, right? Or the homeless people. You're like, oh, and if you follow the thread all the way back to its point, it's because of little teeny weeny things people don't do. Wiping someone's tear away, bringing someone a cup of coffee, donating like a dollar or some shit to someone who needed to go buy a candy bar, even like giving $5 to your niece or your nephew, you know, calling someone or sending a text message on their birthday. It's little things. Like even when people are watching my videos, like you guys have no idea how much the comments mean to me. Like I watch them and I remember them and I read them all the time, often. And without them, it's kind of like, with them, it's like, oh, cool, appreciation and all this. But then I also get to kind of I feel like it's an accomplishment in a way. Like, well, somebody learned something cool, somebody gained benefit from it. Without it, people think, oh, I'm so confident. I know everything is fine. I know I'm bringing all this value to the world. But it's not about that. It's about what value are you guys finding in this, where some people are so engaged and interacting, but other people are just like, you know, like we're trying to help everybody. So if there's a part in people who are like, we're not going to click the like button, or other ones who are like, we're just going to click the like button and leave, totally missing the point. The point is, how much did you value what you gained? How are you valuing it? Because that energy is being built up inside you when you're learning stuff. And it's kind of the difference between saying, oh, Harvard is so difficult to get into compared to a public college, in the city. What's the difference between what you're learning? It's how much value you're putting into it. So I can sit here for 10 hours giving you an Abraham Hicks seminar for like $1,000 per ticket. A lot of people would show up, wouldn't they? But if I'm sitting here doing this for free, people kind of just jump in and jump out, and they're like, and they don't see the value in it. But if I put a value on it, then it's like, oh no, that bitch, oh, it's too much. What the fuck is she teaching? We can learn that on our own. Yes, you can, but how much value do you put on it? This is your life. This is your life experience, your moments, your seconds of time. Are you appreciating what you're learning? Is it something you're going to pass on to your children or improve and pass on to your environment? Is it something you want shared? Is it something you want to learn and expand on, to ask questions about, to interact with, to create more, more opportunities, to create a business, an enterprise, something to invest in? Or is it just something to waste time? How do you view what you're viewing? Hmm. And communication. Everything can be solved with communication and just doing the little things for each other. I love doodling and drawing and stuff. I had to move all my arts and crafts stuff away. Like I still have a. Please send help. Please send help because I'm like my apartment is covered in arts and crafts stuff. See, that's like if you're not watching chat, you should be watching chat. If you're watching this on the replay, because that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's just little things like that. I wasn't even going to make a video today because I was like, screw this, I'm just going to be miserable. And I was like, nope, if I'm going through this, someone else is going through it. So while I talk this out, they can also talk this out to learn something. But before I showed up on camera, I had to sort it out for myself first. Like, how do I get myself out of this? What's the problem? This emotional imbalance. Chakra system. Yesterday, I was cleaning the kitchen and I burst out saying, God damn it, Becky Bob. This is all your fault. I don't know why I keep saying Becky to shit like this all the time. And I'm like, damn it, Becky. As if like I've known a best friend, Becky, for so many years. And I'm just like, damn it. I don't know a Becky. I've never met a Becky and ever. And as soon as I started saying like I would like blurt out of my face one day, and I'm like, God damn it, Becky, where are you? Like a few weeks later, you showed up, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. I've been hearing Bob a lot in my head lately. Like, God damn it, Bob. Yesterday, yeah, yesterday it was Becky and Bob. A few days ago it was Barry and Gary. Barry and Gary were pissing me off real bad. I was like, what the fuck, you guys? And then last week, no, 2 weeks ago, it was Tedious Ted. He was so annoying. I don't know what the hell all that stuff was about. But these were like weird, different names, like during different experiences I was having. And I was like, fucking goddamn it, Ted. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who's Ted? So we'll see who Bob is because Bob showed up yesterday and he was like, I was trying to put a garbage bag in the thing. And I'm like, just putting it nicely and gingerly and putting the garbage bag. And then I moved and my finger got stuck in the bag and pulled it out. And I'm like, Bob and fucking Becky, Bob. Like, Bob and Becky. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but I keep hearing names. And not in a weird way, but in a Tourette kind of cussing names out instead of saying the F word. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I want my life to make more sense. And I don't think it's ever going to make sense. Even Mama Lit, the day before Mama Lit showed up in chat, bro, I was seeing the silhouette of like the African headdress and the big goddess Venus statue with like tribal clothing and like lions and cats and a bunch of babies all around her. And I'm like, what is this? What is all this weird mommy earth, like, strange, weird, deep, earthy vibes? And I'm like, what is going on here? And then I started seeing a bunch of African American women and Mexican and Latin and all these different ones, like really nice, strong mothers. And I was like, whoa. And then the next day in chat, Mama Lit shows up. And I'm like, what the fuck? And right, like half an hour before, I kept hearing something about Mama, light it, light, Mama, light. And I'm like, and I don't really pay attention to it most of the time when it happens because I feel like it's my mind trying to process or translate something like an incoming message that I'm getting. But I'm starting to notice it's actually just people's names. Like Becca? Well, fucking Becky. God damn it. Like Bob, man. Every time I feel Bob's vibe, I'm like, oh, like whoever that dude is so fucking overworked that whenever I'm really, really stressed out over the recent week, like I'm doing too much around the house, I'm like, fucking Bob. So like, fault, make me do all this. Sorry if you're hearing the chair squeak. It's like fucking annoying when I move slowly and it makes a weird little whiny dog sound. um, Travis is another one I've been hearing, but every time I want to say it because it has a lot of syllables, I'm like, no. So I don't know if any of you know it, Travis, but it feels like the Travis vibe is a Knight of Wands dude who's like galloping in. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know, man. I'm gonna start like just sharing with you guys whenever it happens because I haven't been wanting to say people's names. I think we're all like supposed to be doing this real quiet on the earth. Because if you think about it, there's so many covens and cults and all these things of people who do so much shady shit. And here we're just kind of like, do you want to get high? Because I kind of want to get high. We can make that magic. Ooh, marijuana. Ooh. I don't know. I feel like one of these days we need to do some kind of actual magic something or other, like a YouTube ritual or whatever you guys call it. Just so like the thing I've been wanting to kind of do, or I'm being asked to do, but I really don't feel comfortable doing it. It's like the high priestess thing where I'm supposed to lead you guys in a spell of some kind. But I usually just do it anyway for like everyone's benefit to clean up all that nasty stuff around the world. But I think I'm supposed to show you or like do it with you because of what you just said. You feel way calmer. I think with me doing magic with you guys, kind of like holding your hand or guiding you guys with it, I think I'm in some way helping you guys find a really, really subtle vibration. Oh, because I'm always in this. Even when I'm upset and sad, I'm just constantly in a calm state. So when people are like, oh, you're still angry, like, bro, I don't even know what it's like to really get angry. I just can't. Sorry. I can punch things, I can kick things and run and scream, but really, internally, I'm not angry. It's just my nervous system. Oh my God, in Vancouver. I need to move. I want to move so bad out of racing. As soon as I get at least, I've been budgeting and adding, like trying to calculate all this mathematically. If I can get, I mean, comfortably to give myself 3 months rent time, and if my rent was like $800 somewhere in like Chicago or like $900 somewhere in like a cheap area of Chicago, or another state, I think I could literally pick up and move, get a truck somewhere from a used car sales lot for like 2 grand, right? They're really cheap out here in Wisconsin if you go to one of those used car lots. So I kind of want to just go get a pickup truck, put some stuff in my car, and then move the fuck out of the cold, or just go somewhere like Vancouver, or you know, um, I kind of want to go to Salem, or like somewhere warm. Maybe not Mexico, but somewhere a little warmer than the Midwest. I'd want to go to Chicago just to be closer to my parents again, but I'd rather buy a motorhome and just travel, honestly. And with the numerical things I've added up, depending on the different states I want to go to, I think with just 10 grand, maybe that's even a lot, like overestimating it. But I could get a car, pay for at least 3 to 4 months rent and security deposit. And then the rest of it would be gas and car insurance and putting everything in the car and moving. So how I'm going to accomplish that, I don't know. But okay, it's whatever you guys want to do, kind of break it down and see exactly what you need to do for to do it. And then give yourself extra space. For me, it's basically like 10 grand or less, and I can 180 this entire life. Everything. Isn't that funny? And then there's people like Elon Musk who have billions. Billions! Others get paid 10 grand a week for doing less than I'm doing. So remember, this goes back to the value thing. Start valuing yourself and what you're consuming on television and what you're actually consuming as food. Because why are you backwards? Gaia, look at this. This card was here, and I'm like, oh, the deck is, this side down. And I'm like, why is this card sticking out? And it's backwards. So I'm looking at it, and then there's another backwards card on the other side. 3, 11, 3, 3, 31, 13. Weird. I'm not very good with numerology, so I don't know what to tell you about that. But energetically, it feels like this. Find the value of those 3 things and how they involve you as the one person, and how you as the one person can affect those 3 things in return through energetic exchange. I was saying earlier, the lady on Quartz Crystal Channel says that energetic exchanges with people on a higher vibration links you to that vibration so you can't go below a certain point. Whereas if you're linked to lower vibration people and you're energy exchanging with them, you can't really go past a certain point. So it's kind of like the ladder. So you connect with people on this vibration, then you find higher and higher and higher. But if the energy exchange is only happening with this, then you're constantly going to go back down here. So someone like me or someone higher vibration or whatever, right? Kind of like when you go to churches and Catholic buildings and all mosques and all that, you leave a donation and then you feel that energy in you. I'm uncertain how to explain this because it's something that's it's an energy exchange, energy consumption. It's a balance. Be aware of that in your everyday life, in where you're living, the city, the nature, the way plants are growing in that area, the elemental distress in that area, whether it's flooding, fires, hurricanes, earthquake, that's reminiscent of your internal structure. And pay attention to how a lack of energy exchange creates being used and stolen from, right? Shift it around. The first thing you got to do to shift it around is find value in what you have and what you're doing. Look around your apartment and see what you actually value. You can do the Mary Kondo thing of like, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. But sometimes you got to hold on to things that don't bring you that much joy to remind you of what you went through. You go through it, like a scar. I still have certain things that I shouldn't have because of, my ex and all that stuff. But if I got rid of them, I'm trying to find something in this area to show you. If I got rid of them, I wouldn't even remember that stuff anymore. That experience, it would be nothing. And then I'd repeat it and go through it again. Good. One thing you can do is go somewhere like Amazon or somewhere that sells bulk crystals. Get some quartz crystal and just hold them like when they're in the bag, like hold them to your heart and say, you bought them to give back to the earth so the earth can maintain her high vibration. And then just take them, and when you're going out for a walk, leave one in the streets somewhere by a tree, on the ground, wherever you feel called to. Just keep doing it. I usually buy like 2 pounds or 3 pounds of quartz every few months, and I go around and I just, as I'm walking, I'll just flick them out of my pocket here and there. And it's just always kind of slowly and gently upgrading the environment. And the next step for a lot of you guys or people you're connected to is how you perform energy exchange. Because there's a lot of energy that's supposed to be coming back to you guys in a good way that's not able to come back because there's no value being held in when you send that energy out. So, sometimes I say a lot of stuff on this channel that goes over people's heads. But those people that are sitting there intently looking for that information or for that clarity, they gain it. Start valuing your time, your effort, your energy, and other people. I can guarantee you that if you donated anything to this channel, it's already been somehow, or it will be, brought to you so many times amplified, like it goes beyond rule 3. It's kind of like God's rule. So you give something, God goes back to you guys. Even a like or a comment or whatever, it builds something, right? So when you next time you're watching a video, really settle in. Really recognize that you're spending your life learning and evolving and changing, that what you're experiencing and witnessing, watching is something that's high value being brought in a free format. So really let yourself hear, feel, and see. Because there's a lot in these videos, a lot. Like I said earlier, if I actually put down a checklist on everything we're actually doing here, DNA activations, chakra healing, Reiki, frequency calibrations, neural network rewiring, nervous center recalibrations, DNA, this and that, past life memory healing, trauma healing, CPSD healing, family relationships, finances, your physical body and its health, your environment, your nature, your connection to the world, the stars, the history of the world, the records, the Akashic, quantum physics, genetics, epigenetics, cellular stuff, celestial things, astral things, and astrological, dream world, as well as magic, incantations, spells, narcissism, evil, good, demons, angels, religions, theosophy, etc. Should I go on? Can you imagine how full of myself I would seem to people if I put that all on a list of what this channel offers? And that's only certain things, because I can also teach you how to use your gifts. And I can teach you how to cook and grow plants. And I can pull the information of what the stars are actually doing and feeling. without anything. If I was going to be arrogant and cocky and prideful about it and list all of that and then label myself as a channel or a coach or a guru or a high priestess or whatever, wouldn't that change how you interact with this channel? So, first and foremost, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just the one holding the mirror up. Look at how you're valuing yourselves. Okay? Marketing, that's what it's called. If I marketed myself for what I'm actually doing, things would be really different, wouldn't they? Marketing, PR, and all that stuff. Selling ourselves, like they say in the field of business. God, that just made me sound like a whore. Say that at Ulta Cosmetics. You gotta sell yourself. You gotta get on that sales floor and sell, sell, sell. Sell yourself. Sell the product. Sell this and sell that. Sell it as if it's the last thing you're gonna sell. Be a good customer service representative. You don't need that skin cream. You have a cucumber, a rubbed cucumber on your face. It is marketing, right? Yeah. Like the thing I'm supposed to be doing with this channel, the tags, the search engine algorithm things and all that. Like, I have no fucking idea, bro. I do stuff. Like, I don't fucking know because if I break it all down and tell you exactly what's happening, Jesus Christ, it's like I'm God here in form, healing your soul and helping you heal your soul for you. How do I market that and put a price tag on it? And then how do I function as a person that has this job and it's marketed as that job? Can you even imagine the fucking responsibility? Oh, hi, I'm Gaia Inform, and I'm here to help you not be an asshole to Gaia Inform. It doesn't work. So, what we gotta do is here's the pearl 6 years of pearls. What is it worth to you? And it's not about money, it's about energy exchange. And when that value isn't there, our lives individually don't show much value to them, do they? The things we buy, instead of buying, high-end things, we buy dollar store things. Instead of buying the good coffee, we'll buy the cheap coffee that's on sale. Instead of, buying high-end clothing or quality clothing, we get cheap stuff in the thrift store. Why? Because there's no value in the self, right? But at the same time, having a lot of self-value can also help you realize that you don't need all the high-end stuff. You don't need all that high quality stuff. Sometimes the simple things are good. It depends on different people. Sometimes a diamond fucking covered table or a marble countertop is the simple pleasure to someone. To me, I love getting these little stickers and sticking them on things. And I'm like, I don't need marble countertops. I got stickers. And to me, that's the simple thing. People get donated like $300 in super chats on some live streams that I've seen. For me, I'm happy with a like. It's fine. For others, they get ad revenue or something based on how much people watch their channel. Like, I don't get any of that at all. If there's ads playing in the videos, like tell somebody or tell me so I can report them, because you're not supposed to be getting ads on these videos. So just kind of see the value in the seed. Then you'll be able to cherish the forest. That was a channeled direct thing, not from me. See the value of the seed, and you cherish the forest. Huh. That's Snuck right on in there, didn't it? That's from a grandpa uncle character. Who was that? Bow tie, suit, gray, light blue, cream color. I don't even know what fucking color that is. And then a mother, like a grandmother. Weird. I don't think they're entities. I think they're people's ancestors or somebody. Or mine. I don't know. I don't know. That just made me go way off into that place. Me, that's how I know, like internally, when it's another energy, because it completely stops me. It's completely like, "Oop, nope, that wasn't mine. What was that?" The rest of it, it's my own channel stream, with my own higher self, source self connection. That specific line wasn't. I think my abilities are getting stronger. Oh, right, because I'm valuing myself more. How interesting. Interesting. How interesting. See? I feel like I'm like glitched in time right now. Like I'm a few seconds ahead and a few seconds behind of myself because that message really. Mm. I feel like I'm being watched by a loving uncle and a loving grandmother that are not physical human beings. And they're the ones that said that. One of them said the seed thing that I don't even remember, and the other one's the forest thing. And now this part of my head is kind of hurting. I don't know what part of the brain this is. Yeah, that's a weird thing right there. The things I'm channeling, the energies I'm channeling, the energy of that vibration, the higher vibration. Look at how fucking glowy my hand is, Jesus. It seems to be creating more neural pathways. I can literally feel my brain creating a path, like right there. So weird. What a weird feeling. This would freak people the fuck out, bro. If you guys ever get the sensation in your brains, don't worry. It feels like tapping and moving, but really, really, really fast and slow. It's kind of like time going whoop, and then whoop. Oh, that's what it's like. You know when you pick up dough, when you're making dough, bread, and you pick it up and it kind of like whoop, and then it goes right back together again. That's what it feels like. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, that's that. We're not dealing with that today because I need to practice that other thing more later. I don't like it, honestly. I mean, it's not bad. It's just such a foreign energy. It's nothing there. It's like, wait, you can do this. Like, well, obviously I can, but I don't want to. But at the same time, that energy is only perceived as external or opposite because I haven't practiced it in that way. Hmm. And it's so different than any of those entities or low vibrational things I usually sense in like on YouTube and different channels. It's kind of like an old ethnic cultural family. Very weird. Very weird. It's like a memory that I've forgotten. Anyway, now the feeling's gone. It's back here. And it's nothing bad. It's literally like a I'm genuinely getting a message. But as I'm getting it, it's being translated and creating like a telephone wire to that direct line. And I keep hearing the same thing, seed, cherish, forest, seed, cherish, forest, over and over and over. And it's like going this way. Weird. Ooh, weird. You know, if people felt this shit in real life, like muggles, they would probably think there's something wrong with their brain. But there isn't. It's just extrasensory abilities. Because the more it's going, the more I'm able to just, mm, that's what it's like. Okay. Putting string lights on your bed. That's what it feels like. Something internally motivated. It's like, yeah, I know there's a on the bed. Oh, okay. It's so obvious. Like it's something that's been right in front of my face all the time. Like I can channel, right? I can tell about all the different entities. Okay, but then why aren't I channeling things that I can actually use and benefit from properly? Oh, right, because I was like, oh no, all channeling is bad. I can only channel myself. No, there's a whole different method of communication in there in the human mind. And it's blocked away by a sense of safety and thinking that you're being hurt or something, like seeing danger where there is none. You know how some kids are afraid of under their bed, but it's literally just extra room to put like toys or whatever in or crystals. It's just under your bed. Now I'm hearing shit in German. I used to speak German for 10 years fluently. I think this is a part of craniosacral therapy. There's something called craniosacral therapy. I'm seeing that word in my head. And it does something with these points in the brain on either side through energy centers. And that's what it feels like the guides and the energies in my auric field are doing. There's something going on this side regarding language. So if your guys' head hurts ever on the right hand side, if you ever get migraines or stuff, try to comprehend it. I'm not gonna like go farther in this because I just like I figured it out. If I tell you you're not gonna figure it out, it won't mean as much to you. Pay attention to your brain. Your mind is your strongest ally. And the next time you guys think there's something wrong, look at it wiser. Right now, I'm feeling in the back of my left shoulder a, I don't know what to call it. It's like a line, like someone going like this here. If I was a muggle, I'd be like, oh no, it's a ghost. If I was a channeler, I'd be like, oh no, it's an entity. Knowing what I know about genetics and the nervous system and the human body and all of that, and energy. I can tell it's an energy going through a certain few meridians to the spinal column. And considering it started here and now I'm feeling it here, that means something in my crown chakra, throat chakra, the back of my heart chakra, and down to my solar plexus is going like this, moving fluidly now. What you're afraid of is actually only there because, and I say this lovingly, because we are not open eyed enough to see what's actually there. What a weird thing. What a weird feeling. I remember my mom saying once that her head was hurting and felt like she was just hearing static in her head. And I was like, why don't you change the channel? And now I was feeling that, and I'm like, I can't run from this or change that feeling. What is that? And when I tried to figure it out and go with it, the discomfort of it went away, and instead it's like, oh, that's what that is. So whatever it is you have discomfort in, the thing I wasn't going to tell you, whatever it is you have discomfort or a fear of, or a hesitation of, if a sensation happens in your physical body and you're like, ooh, what a weird sharp thing, or ooh, what a weird that thing. Wait, I mean, go get medical attention if you need it for whatever reasons, right? But just don't lose your shit and really analyze it. Pretend your body is a child telling you, oh, I feel this way. And your mind is giving it a reason why it feels that way. And then you'll notice, is it real or is it not? Is it true or is it not? As soon as I thought about this, I immediately started hearing things in German. I can freak out about it. I can deny it. I can ignore it. Or I can keep listening because it's probably a part of my brain that's been healing, which holds the part of language from languages I used to speak. Or I'm being abducted by aliens. I don't know. Just kidding. Oh my God, 3 hours. It's gone now, whatever that feeling was. I think it's a language center. You guys, do some research on the right side of the brain, on this side. I think that's a language center. Safe word for what? Oh, when I go crazy in those situations and I'm like tuning into energy on live camera? Yeah, probably. Um, no, don't worry about me in that way. Like if it was ever anything really detrimental, I wouldn't even be here. Like I would be taking care of it. This is energy. This is stuff that happens around people where they don't know what it is. And I think a lot of people go through this, like headaches, migraines, things like that. And it's not stuff like that. It's actually energy. So yeah, don't worry about me. If anything, I just need a cigarette and a cup of coffee. But as far as that thing, no, that's something that's let me right side significance of the right side of the brain. Let's see. Google response. controls the body's thoughts, actions, judges the positions of things in time and space, philosophy, imagination, religion, creative thinking, information processes through feelings, symbols, images, um, puts bits of information together to make an entire picture, and controls the left side of the body. Okay, and I was saying I felt it on this side and then it went down to the left side. And we were doing a whole bunch of energy work. And what does it say? Creative thinking, spatial rationing, rationalization, spatial relationships, knowing objects and their functions, creative thinking, etc., etc. So that was a trigger of a brain function, or a what's that word? Calibration of neurological function regarding language and perception of reality. I feel like I'm even expressing words slightly more thoroughly. It's very weird. I kind of like it. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now because my computer hamster is making a clicking noise. I don't know if you can hear it. Do you hear it? It's going click, 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 click. Every time it does it, I keep thinking there's a hamster flying like this, and it's like, I'm like, okay, hamster, I'll give you a little break. I hope you guys have a really, really good night, really, really good day, whatever. I hope you learned something from all this. And Mama Lit, you need to say for it, huh? I guess when I get too into that channeling stuff. Well, say pineapple. I've heard that word 3 times today, and each time I've gone, what? That word, I don't know what it is, but every time I hear the word pineapple, I'm like, so fucking ridiculous. You had a dream about me. What's that? Oh, yeah. It was probably not just a dream. I'm probably there doing it with you. I hope you. A lot of people say they see me in dreams, and I'm usually wearing some pink or white clothes, and like I'm just flying around, shapeshifting, helping people. So I don't know what I look like in my dreams. I don't know what I'm presenting myself as. I don't know what shape, color, nothing. All I know is one day, like in my dreams, I'm there doing things, and then I'm like jumping out a window, and then I'm somewhere else. I will figure out how to control my dreams and have lucid dreams. I promise eventually. But until then, if you guys somehow see me in your dream state, just say hi. If you have candy, I'm lovely. I'm probably lost somewhere in dream world trying to find a way back home. Like trying to figure out how to wake myself back up. So if you guys see me in dream state, be like, yo, what's up? You should wake up. And I'll be like, oh shit. Do it every time. Like sometimes I buy a pineapple and I'll put it in my like in the periphery somewhere. And I'll just be walking around the house and I'm like, what the fuck is a pineapple even? Like, have you seen one? Like, it's such a weird fruit. Like, it's just so weird. Why does it look like dragon scales and it has a fucking palm tree on top of it? I don't understand pineapples. I just don't. And they're so delicious. And then when you eat them, there's a thing in there, an enzyme that's like eating you back. So if you like use it on your skin, it like scrubs your skin. It's so weird. It's such a weird fruit. So yeah, you if I just get lost in somewhere or a zone out ever, I'd be like, pineapple, bitch, pineapple. And I'll be like, oh shit. Oh my God, yes, they are. If you ever bake cakes, even those little like 99-cent Pillsbury cake mixes or whatever, put some pineapples inside of the cake mix, like when you're making it and it's in the oven. Oh my God, it's so good. The sweetness and the tartness melts through the entire cake. So good. So good. Oh, I should make a cake with you guys one of these days. I'm so good at making cakes. I love it. I can't make the same cake twice, but they're all good. So whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go because I need to put my hair in the ponytail. The back of my neck is extremely warm, and I need coffee. What color is it really? All the colors. Star, can you have one hair color? Yes. Are you gonna? Is it because you don't wanna? I really just want one hair color on my head. Just one. I don't care which one. I just want one color. Why is there green in there now? It's so pink. I still can't get over all this pink in the apartment, bro. Thank you. I I'd return the compliment, but all I can say is your souls are beautiful, and without you guys being here and talking and stuff, it would just be me talking to a fucking camera. No, no safe words, no pineapple. Crazy shit. Good night, you guys, and be good to yourselves, okay? It's the most important thing. And be good to your God and your creator and get off your fucking knees because it's embarrassing for your ancestors and your creator to see you guys groveling. Okay, they want you to be happy, they want you to be loved, and they want you to be confident and healthy and whole and complete and ask for things you want instead of what you think you need for a better life. Okay? Be good, be great, be honest, be kind, be humble. Eat a fucking cupcake, drink a glass of wine if you want to, don't drive afterwards. Smoke a bowl, smoke a joint. Enjoy your life and harmonize. And stay close to God and the mother, not just the father. Balance it. And if you get the urge to do something kind for someone, always tell everybody and everyone you know, including yourself, that whenever you get that urge to help someone, it's usually because there's an energetic tug from someone somewhere else. So whether you know who to help or not, it doesn't matter. Put that help out into the world. The universe will Jenga the pieces together somehow. But if you get an inkling or an urge to do something kind or helpful or to say something to someone or to reply or to anything, a comment, a donation somewhere to some charity, whatever it is, follow through, okay? There's reasons beyond your comprehension why that stuff happens. I love you guys. Probably see you tomorrow. Don't touch my hair, weirdo. I'll see you tomorrow.